Well, hello there, everyone. How are you? What is this sleeve doing? Why do you look so weird? Hello. Welcome. Hi. Welcome to Sprints, everyone. If there is anyone, I think it's just me at the moment, but I'm gonna fix that. And give me just. Oop. You know what I should make sure I fix because I forgot to do this the last time. Someone should make sure that monetization is on. Because guess who didn't do that last time? I did the whole stream. Oh yeah, somebody was a dum-dum. It's fine. I got everything. Oh my god, I got everything else set up, but not that. Oh, Margaret. Boom. Okay, give me just a second, guys. Let's go ahead and let people know that the sprints are happening. I have Twitter on here somewhere, I think. Well, no, I have Discord. Let's go ahead. Go find. Mine is so far down at this point. Anyways, there's that. Yes, I do. Ugh. Argue with me every time. I wonder if is there a way to turn that notification off? Am I in the right? Yes, I am in the right thing. Okay, great. And then let me go up here. So, hello. How is everyone? What are we up to this Saturday afternoon? I am actually really glad that I pushed this to the afternoon because my mom needed a break. So anyways, what's up, y'all? What's going on? What are you reading? I'm very curious as to what people are reading and all of that. It's very fun to see all that good stuff. And nope, that one doesn't have a thing for social, so we'll not. Nope. And then where? There we go. I was in a Discord where someone was like, can we get a link that's just for like people sharing Storygraph, Instagram, blah, 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 instead of just like everything? And I'm like, just scroll through. Just deal with it. This is how these are set up. This is not the first time. Like, this is what works for people. You can go sit down. Anyways. Okay. Hi. Hello. I really have a lot to do, but I also have nothing to do. I don't know if anyone else has that. Hello there. I looked away and then I looked back and there you were.
It said log in and my brain was like, "Oh, okay, I'll click that," even though I shouldn't have clicked it. But hello.
You know what? I feel that though. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is I forgot to put shit on Twitter. I don't know how useful Twitter is anymore, but you know, analytics say it still gets me some people.
That's good.
So I really hope I did the right link in all of those Discords. Now that okay, good. It is the YouTube link. I was like, what if I did the StreamYard link? I did do that once. I got a text from Brianna going, did you mean to send the StreamYard link in the everyone's social media things on Discord? And I was like, no, I did not.
Oh my god.
Thankfully, she caught it and deleted it before anyone hopped on. But that would have been an interesting time. So.
Oh, that would be really interesting. See how many people show up.
Just random people. You're not in the. I mean, I know who's in the group because I'm like careful. I'm very careful about who I let in which groups. Just because it's like I know that I don't want to expose some of y'all to. I want to be careful who I expose my friends to, basically. Because we've had enough times in the booktube community where it's like, oh no, this person is a weirdo. No. So, anyways. So I would have known like right away if it was somebody who I had not invited to a stream.
Right.
And also, like, I'm not going to add people if they're only going to be with me one time. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not going to spam you every week.
You can kick out people on StreamYard, right?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
I believe I can.
Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
I can kick and ban people from the studio.
Oh.
I can also just choose not to show you on the screen. So I've done that to my brother a couple of times where he'll like say something annoying and I'll just be like, you're not on. Oh, sorry, your character's dead now. Bye. Oh no, there goes Geralt, who is not at all anything like Geralt from The Witcher. Absolutely not. He's so original. But anyways, what are you up to today, Alex?
I am reading Real Queer America, which I think I was reading last time. I was just updating my vlog because I was like, I was so busy in February with work that I barely even read anything. So
that seems valid. I read a lot more in February than I usually did, but I did not read as much as I was planning on reading. So we're gonna try that idea again at a later date, potentially when Brianna is going to be on my case about it. So
I feel like too, like in February, I'm always like, oh, I can definitely read all these books. And then I'm just like, why would I even think that? Why would I think that?
The first year Jesse did Blackathon, I read 20 books in that month. I have not. The only time I've read that many books again was during, I believe, the Amazing Readathon, and I think I read 24 or 25.
That's the one time I've read like the most I've ever read in my life.
So I was like, oh, I think 28 sounds reasonable. I've done 20 in February before, so getting 8 more in, especially since none of them that time were manga, getting 8 more in, if I plan on some of them being manga and being short books, that should be fine. No. Anyway, so I may have recruited some extra help for the next time I attempt this, because I'm gonna keep attempting this every couple months until I get it. So, anyways, let's see. I'm about to start Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. Because I still have Castle. I didn't get to Castle in the Air for Battle of the Girl Bands, but I still have it. So I was like, well, I might as well get through this and see if I can do the trilogy before this book goes back to the library. And then I was like, I don't have any other stuff that I need to, read yet. I'm still figuring out I want to do my March TBR, because I don't feel like sitting down and like thinking through a TBR. So anyways, there is that. I'm feeling extra lazy right now. I'm just like, why TBR?
I mean, I feel like sometimes if you don't have a readathon, it's hard to.
I do. I have Realmathon. But Realmathon is very, like, it's easy to figure out stuff that fits stuff. Like, it's just basically you attach prompts to whatever you want to read. So I need to read a lot of blue books, and I need to read a lot of books that have animals on them. I'm just not sure how I want to do that just yet. So anyways, we have got Anne with us. Hello, Anne. I'm going to be finishing up Second Chance by James Patterson, and then starting a new book for my March TBR. Very nice. I think I'm filming that tomorrow. Renee says, hey. Hey, Renee. Hey. We also have Nadine here. Oh, nice. I demonstrated against the genocide in town today. Good for you. Good for you.
Do your part.
I am currently stuck in the home with my parents, and they are sick, so I'm not going anywhere. So
fair.
Like, it's I suspect they probably got something from when my dad did his surgery in the hospital on Monday.
Probably is,
because it hit both of them. My mom started getting sick, I think, on Thursday, and so they're both gross and nasty. But anyways, Anne says a hi.
Hi.
Watching The Road to El Dorado, pausing to say hi. Very nice. That's a good movie. Once more, highs.
Hi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The map background. The map background is actually the map that I created for my Dungeons and Dragons campaign, which is also based off of my TBR game, Fabelin. So technically, it's on theme for the channel. But I really enjoyed it. It was very funny because I was watching the Realmathon video and I was like, I recognize that Elf City little icon. I was like, I know this. I know exactly what program Cassidy used to make that map because I just spent like a week doing nothing but being in like this. What's behind you only took me like 2 days, because that's easy. But apparently building cities is much more difficult for me. So I spent like a week working on a city that we haven't even gotten to yet. So it's great. Nadim says, I'm reading Only If You're Lucky by Stacey Willingham. Question about Real Queer America. Is that nonfiction or?
Yeah, it's LGBT Stories from Red States by Samantha Allen. And yeah, so it's just like basically she went on a road trip. She's a trans woman. She went on a road trip and it's like her stopping in all red states and kind of like just kind of showing the people that are there and like talking about who she met there. And I mean, I think it's pretty good. I like that element. And I was saying like this came out in 2019 and it's still relevant.
Of course it is.
Obviously, like, but it's cool to see like how it goes. Like she doesn't go to every red state, obviously, because that would be like 400 pages or whatever. But so far, I think she's in Texas. She went to she spent a lot of time in Utah. Yeah. And then she went to Texas. It was like Indianapolis, or no, Indiana, Utah, Texas, and then we'll see what else happens. And yes, it is Republican states.
Republican states. So
it's like showing that there's queer people in red states.
We've turned politics apparently in the United States into a game of Halo. So it's always red versus blue.
Yes.
I always like get so frustrated when that whole like red state debate starts happening.
Yeah. That's why this is so important, because it's like, hey, there's actual queer people here that like can't leave, unfortunately, and they're actually doing a lot of great work.
Yeah. Like as a blue dot in a red state, it just gets so frustrating to me because like people go, they deserve it, and it's like, do you understand how many people here don't even get a say in this because they don't get to vote? Do you understand how like gerrymandered? Like my polling place has moved 3 times, I think, since I was eligible to vote. It's because the one of them is because the church that we voted at closed down. It's so ridiculous, and like I've seen people that their polling places are so far away, and all of that, and it's like I don't think my county is relatively liberal, so I don't think we're the worst. I know there are states that are worse. But like people really just don't care about that. They don't care about the fact that even if people are voting Republican, they still deserve human rights.
Yeah.
Like if you are sitting there going, you don't deserve human rights because I don't like how you vote, or because it's more than just I don't like how you vote, because obviously it's hate crimes and stuff. But because like if you don't deserve, you're doing their work for them, because the main point that you see in red states is the Democrats don't care about you.
Yeah.
And the best way to offset that is to show that we care.
Right. You're just giving up pretty much. And it's like, that's why this is so cool, because it's like there was like one where she went to like help amplify like and get like a bill to stop being passed. And she met this woman who has a trans kid and like met them and all. And I'm like, this is what I love. I actually kind of love this because of that. Like it does show like that these people are actually real. That's why I think like it's a good nonfiction like that, because you are meeting all these people. And I feel like if somebody did have that mindset and they read this, they'd be like, oh, right, look at that person. Like they'd be able to refer to these kind of people when thinking about that. Because I'm like, I live in Pennsylvania. Like it's like it's definitely very, like, I don't want to say like very red, but parts definitely are. Yeah. I was just saying, like, you would think some people think PA is so like large, but it's just so wide that like to go to Pittsburgh, it's 5 hours away from me. Like it is so far. I'm like, there's like Eastern PA, Central PA. Like I have not even been there. I'm like, I'm from the city. I'm not from up there.
Yeah, that's so funny. I've been, I actually was in Philadelphia last year for Taylor Swift. So, and it's funny because it was the opposite direction that we were traveling. But if we had gone like 30 minutes outside of town, we would have been able to visit where my dad was born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't think we have family up there anymore, or we might, but yeah, that's where my dad's family's from.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, it just gets really frustrating when people start going into that, because it's one of those things where people want to talk about all of the work we need to do to fight the Republicans, but then when you actually have to put your politics into practice,
Yeah.
suddenly, oh, we should just cut the red states off. So I'm waiting for that to come back around again with BookNet Fest going on in May. Because they've chosen to stay in Orlando. And it's funny because people were pushing them to put it in Chicago this year, and they're like, it would still be in a red state, my friend.
Yeah, and like,
they're like,
I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, I would be afraid to go because
and that's
trans. Like, I would not want to do that, but I understand why they do that. And honestly, doesn't Mari live there?
Mari
lives there.
Mari lives in Florida. Sam lives in Chicago, and they're both like very transparent about the fact that, well, number one, like, this is where these events are needed the most to fight.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best way to fight book bans.
Exactly.
We had Jen Cousins come in to talk. But Mari and Sam were like, listen, it has to be somewhere that is accessible to one of us.
Yes, exactly.
Drive if we're going to keep doing this. And part of why they keep it there, they do it in Orlando, is because it makes it easier for certain international people to come, like from the Caribbean and stuff. They've considered doing Chicago because it would be easier for the Canadians. So it's one of those things that just like because of where they live, that's where it's got to be.
But also, like, aren't there parts of Florida that are like safer, kind of, for like?
Yes, there are. Yeah, well, Orlando is like probably the queer capital of Florida. Like, so it's one of those things where I would never tell someone if you don't feel safe to come here.
Yeah.
But I also think it's a lot different coming into a touristy area like Orlando or something like that, or coming to Tampa for like a weekend, versus if you're coming to live here.
Yeah, exactly.
If that makes sense. Especially if you're passing. But again, it's like, I'm like, it is conflicting because I feel we need to have this event here. Also, I don't know that I would recommend my queer friends to come here right now.
Exactly, yeah.
I know I have a friend that with some stuff that was going on last year, she was gonna come over, and she is queer, but she's also Black. And she was like, maybe she asked a friend, and she's like, do you think I should? And they're like, no, you should postpone.
Yeah, there's that.
So it's like I don't want people to be feeling unsafe or questioning their safety, but also at the same time, we need help. Please come. If you are able to, if you are able to make it so it's safe for you, please come. If you don't feel safe, don't worry about it.
That's why I love Rachel, because I'm like, Rachel is like, she's such an ally. She's like, she's always on Instagram and all, like, being like, I'm going to school.
Oh yeah, no, and again, like I said, I'm from a liberal area in Florida. My town, like, we have a lot of gay pride stuff everywhere. My parents want to leave specifically because of that. But at the same time, like 30 minutes away where Rachel lives, she's having to fight these book bannings and things. And so, like,
I mean, I'm in PA and they had them like literally like 20 minutes away from me. There was like a video of like a trans girl, I think, or just like trans kid who was like testifying, being like, hey, you have made my life a living hell.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of their goal.
We're
supposed to bring heaven on earth, not hell, but apparently
we're in hell.
So, hello, Books with Brecht. Renee says, I mean, I can finish a book in a few hours, but my normal is finishing one book every other day. So like, it's one of those things I know if I can push myself, but hey, Christy, hello, just joining. I'm reading Crown of Gilded Bone by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Books with Brecht is reading Percy Jackson. Very nice. And we have a Bella. Hey, Bella. Reading sprints just as I was thinking of reading. I'm catching it early. Very nice. Very nice. Good to have you. All right. Okay. So, what you feel in an hour? You feel in 45 minutes? Any preferences from either the chat or from you, Alex?
I think we could start with 45. An
45?
hour an hour might be a little bit long for me.
Oh, Renee, don't get me started. Americans talk about Freedom Land at 3. A book
Love
banning
it
is a real
here.
thing. Like, if you don't want to read it, just don't buy it. Yes. Oh, and Emma is reading. Bella is reading The Guest by Emma Klein. Yeah, it's ridiculous how Republicans and conservatives want to be in everyone's business. Like, it's not like, I cannot tell you when we were going around to see my dad's clients, I cannot tell you how many times my dad would talk about, oh, like, I'm fine with people being that way, were his words, but I don't want them telling me how to live. And I'm like, how?
What
Like, I couldn't.
did somebody actually come up to you and ask you, like, and tell you that? Like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
like it's one of those things. I couldn't say anything because number one, we're in front of clients, and number two,
Yeah.
a lot of his clients are red people, and my paycheck is dependent on them staying my clients.
Yeah.
So it was just, but I just, like, it was very frustrating to watch that, and very frustrating because he did have one he's a very, very liberal voter now, like, that was going back and forth with my dad during, and I was like, watching the amount of respect that he gives this man who is badgering him versus
Mhm.
the amount of respect that he gives me and my brother. Like, I was so frustrated after that. But anyways, yeah, it's so frustrating that people cannot mind their own business, because that's really what it comes down to, is they want the world to look a certain way, and they want to force everyone uh to live that way, despite all of their preaching that, like, we should be the example
Right.
and hope others follow. We are trying to, like, it's all about political power. They know that they would not have a party if they stopped.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, and it's really interesting because I've watched that evolution from, like, the early 90s all the way up to today, even though
Mhm.
that's been in the works for longer. But let me get the timer set up, because we always start my streams off with such interesting and happy topics.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, let us pull it. Where did my mouse go? Okay, pull that up. And we will go in 3, 2, 1. Mute your mic. Oh, let me turn the light. Oh, hold on. Let me just a second. Let me put the lighting thing. There we go. Oh, sorry. I pulled it back so that I'd be able to film a clip of the vlog. And then forgot to put it back. So, how did everyone do?
I read 10 pages. I have the audiobook, and my cat, he's obsessed with sitting in this chair that I have. So of course I left the room for a couple of minutes, and I come back because like he came in and I put his blanket down for him, hoping that he would sit there. And then of course, as soon as I left, all I heard was like a thump, and I was like, I swear to God, if he's in my fucking chair. And there he was. So then I had to pick him up and put him back, and now he's sleeping over here. I'm like, oh my God. This is my chair, not yours.
Buddy, come on. That's so funny. I got to page 29 in my book and started the vlog for this.
Oh, that's good.
So we'll see. I love this book so much. Like the chapter titles are great. It's just
oh, I've never read it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like have you seen the movie?
No.
Before? No? Okay. It's like the same plot as the movie, but there are some major differences, and they definitely go into some themes in the book a little bit more than the movie goes into them, gotcha. Which I really appreciate. But anyways, I love it. It's so good. It makes me so happy.
Oh, I love that.
But yeah. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to be getting to the rest of the series potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we're going to make content out of it. But we had a couple of people join us. Hello, Carissa. Hi, Nikki. We got Rope Crewman here. Hello, just got off my weekend job. I am probably going to either read Korean comics or play Spyro 3.
Nice.
I mean, those are two different ways to do things. Let's see. Coda's here too as well. Hello, Coda. Hello, Reader's Retreat Raid. Hello, reading Golden Sun. Read a lot over on Paul's Sprint Reader's Retreat. Have 74 pages left to finish today. Thank you. Thank you for joining, and that's awesome. And read 85 pages in that sprint. How? Please tell me. I need to know these things. And then 45 pages left. We'll have finished it during the next sprint. Very nice. We have a Julie currently fighting with my computer to export tomorrow's video. Yesterday's video is now tomorrow's video just because life has been a little wild this week. And it's a 16-minute video, and it took it an hour to upload, or it's going to take it an hour to upload full time.
Is that your new computer or old?
That's the new computer. This one usually is a lot quicker. When I go up to see my brother in April, I'm going to swap out the Wi-Fi cards because what I found out is the new computer, the Zephyrus, they put like what's the word? Like a very basic Wi-Fi card in. Like it's not a good Wi-Fi card. It's just your it's a shitty Wi-Fi card basically. For all of the other power that this computer has. And it doesn't affect my gameplay all that much because like Baldur's Gate doesn't do too much with that, but it does affect like my internet when I'm trying to stream and when I am trying to upload things. It takes a lot longer on that computer. And like I have it in my room, which is the room that is closest to the Wi-Fi upstairs. So it's usually faster in here.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's annoying, but I'm planning on switching out the SSD anyways because it's only like a 512. So it's a pretty quick swap to do that. And then if you're going to do that, you might as well do the Wi-Fi as well because they're like right next to each other. So, hello. We already said hello. Christy says I got to chapter 19. Very nice. Hello, Reader's Retreat. I am doing well. I think we're all doing good. How are you doing?
It's raining out.
Oh, nice. It is. wouldn't say like it's a little bit overcast right now, but it's not
Mhm.
yet. Like it's one of those like this could if it's going to rain, it'll get a lot worse. But it's at this point, it doesn't look like it.
Well, it needed to rain here. It's been
Yeah,
not good.
yeah. No, it's the weather is quite nice actually right now. We've got all the windows and doors open. Um, but hello, just finished the movie. One of my faves. Very nice, Renee. I have read this so many like I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, Rope Crewman. Actually, in my February TBR, if you want to go, not February, yeah, February. I have my battered, beat up edition of original edition of Howl's Moving Castle, or the original one that I owned. That I've read it so many times, it's literally falling apart.
Oh my gosh.
I got it in 2000 and no, actually, I think I got it in 2008. Potentially, it's like 2008, 2009, around that time, and read it for the first time because that was the first time that I saw the movie and I found out there was a book. And I have reread it so many times since because it is absolutely a delight. It's very much in that very tongue-in-cheek kind of middle grade that you have, like the Phantom Tollbooth is in,
Mhm.
and then A Valley of Laughs, A Vale of Tears, if you've heard of that one. And the Angry Dope. I already said the Phantom Tollbooth. Never mind. I think this is one of the original ones that gave us those chapter titles that we see in some middle grade nowadays. And if you are looking for a fun magic wizard book that's not the other magic wizard book, this is one of the OGs and it's very good. There's no magic school, but you know, it's still fantastic. Hello, Brianna. Didn't read. I'm watching Sarah and her crew play D&D for their show promo, but I will be where? Where do we watch them play D&D? Brianna, is there a link? Send me link. I'll put aside reading and watch people play D&D. What? Anne is working on a ripple blanket during the chatty bits. Very nice. I need to get my genre blanket caught up for this year, or my reading blanket caught up this month. Morgane says hello, joined during that sprint. I will be reading A Lantern in Her Hand. A very well, 85 pages is no big deal. Or if the pages are not. Also, some books have pictures. And some people just read fast naturally, me being a person that reads that fast. I wish I did. I like to understand. And it's not even that I feel like I need to read fast to keep it up with other people. It's, do you know how many books I could read if I read that fast?
Probably a lot.
Probably.
You could have finished your February TBR.
Yeah. Okay. For me, it's all about how many books can I read before I die?
Yeah.
Anything I can do that helps me read more books. There's so many books I want to read. Anyways, and people don't stop coming out with new books, so there's always more.
That's the worst.
Again, yeah, it's so terrible. I hate it. I just hate having new books come out. Again, if I could stop time, that would be the superpower I would choose.
Fair.
Hey, RK. Always like to jump. Thank you. Always like to jump into your reading sprints on the weekends. Oh no, I'm developing a headache. I think I might have been pushing my body too far. Take a nap. Naps always help.
It's true.
So,
and
Bella,
water.
Yeah. Nap. I usually go water, food, nap in that order. So, and it's always the funny. I don't know if you've run into this. It's always the last thing I try.
What do you mean?
Like if I'm like, oh, I'm plenty hydrated, I don't need to drink water, and I try food and nap first, and then I wake up with a headache. No, it was water. It was water the entire time. Or if I'm like, water and nap, and then I'm like, oh no, it was food the entire time. It's always the last one I try.
Yeah, I've realized I've been like that recently, like where I just like I'm usually pretty good at drinking water, and just like I'll feel so like dehydrated, and then I'm like, oh right, my water's literally right here. I just don't even think about it.
And it's funny because I used to be so good about that at work, like because if I'm bored, I'm drinking some water.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time talking at work, so I would drink a lot of water. But Bella says I was able to read 26 pages. I'm only 62 into it in total, but I'm really liking it so far. Did not do anything during that sprint. Hey, sometimes you need a nothing sprint. Sometimes you need a nothing sprint or a nap sprint. Ooh. Let me. Okay, oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Rope Crewman says, worst case scenario, I end up listening to an audiobook. Understandable. And Sarah's D&D thing is on her Discord. So there's that. Oh, let's see here. Reader's Retreat is reading Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides on chapter 6. Very nice. That is what we are doing right now, Coda. I just read Howl last year for the first time. Have you read the other two in the Howl trilogy? I attempted to read Castle in the Air like 5 or 6 years ago, or maybe further back. So I haven't read the other two yet, but that's the plan because I do have the other two. I just need to read them. So that is the Discord for Brianna's sister, if anybody is interested. Hey there, Book Hermit. Just jumping over. I'm reading Throne of Glass. Very nice. So many great books in the world. Right. The chapters are super short and it's a reread. I read it a few years ago, so somebody is coming back and I'm able to skim some. I understand.
I love short chapters. Like this book the chapters are so long that I'm like, how the hell am I already at 100 pages and I'm only on chapter 3?
Yeah. I mean, I can understand, considering number one, that it's nonfiction and the way that the author is focusing on a different story each chapter, probably. Like, it makes sense, but there are things you can do in chapters that make them not feel as long. Brianna, you'd like this book. It's called Real Queer America, and it's like a nonfiction going into different red states. It's by Samantha Allen.
And she's a trans woman and reporter. So.
Very nice. Let's see. Jen says, I helped with Summer that sprint. Going to get back to Howl's Moving. Oh, we're both reading the same book. I'm also hoping to finish it by the end of the day. I'm trying to finish the entire trilogy in a weekend. I don't know how that's going to go. So, hello, Precious. Welcome. On principle, I think most of us tend to do rereads faster than their first time reads. Oh, it depends. Because usually my rereads are when I annotate. I don't I'll annotate the first time I read something, especially if it's a series I'm already reading. But a lot of the time, if I'm really going to do heavy duty annotation, it's going to be on the second time because that's when I'm paying the most attention to the things I annotate.
Right.
If I read like I talked, I could read at least 5 tomes in a day. I do talk fast. I'm going to use the next sprint to cook some. I don't know what I'm going to cook, actually, but I'm going to cook something to eat. So, Cody says hello to Paul. I've never made it past Howl. I'll be interested if you enjoyed them. So, from my understanding, each one has a different main character, and Sophie and Howl are included in both. But I don't know to what extent. I know Sophie is a cat in the next book. I don't know why, but I know she is. Anyways. Hey, Beatrice. Welcome. How are you? Still figuring out stuff for tomorrow's video and thinking what books I want to get for my birthday. Ooh, exciting. We can definitely, yes, I agree, Renee. We can definitely probably help you with the book tips for your birthday. Love it. Yes. Oh, Anne says page 355 is the start of chapter 109. That's a lot of chapters.
Oh my god. No. I would tap out. I'm sorry. That's too long. That's too many words. My brain.
Chapters. It depends. I have read. Okay, so I love short chapters, but have you sometimes you'll read a book and you'll be like, why are you cutting the chapter in the middle of there? Yeah. Please don't. Just keep going. You're ruining the flow, bro. Coda says, I have the other two and haven't read them. Are we supposed to? Yes. I don't remember when you said we were doing Black Sun, but I do know we were planning on doing Black Sun. So yes, I am down to do Black Sun whenever you're ready. Long chapters can be so annoying. I'm buddy reading Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. It's only 254 pages, but it also only has 12 chapters.
Yeah, that's kind of how this is. I don't know how many chapters it has, but I know it's not many.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
7 chapters it has, plus an epilogue, so, like,
okay.
technically 8.
Interesting. Yeah, and I think it makes more of a difference if you're reading it physically versus when you're reading audiobook.
Yeah.
Definitely does. Percy Jackson has 15 to 20 pages per chapter now in chapter 9, page 119. So it's been quite a bumpy ride. Yeah, and his chapters are so well paced out. Like each chapter has its own little mini arc. I just like I love it. I love it so much. Like that's one of the reasons why I think Percy Jackson was really good for TV, because it's already like each section of the book already has its own little arc that it follows that would be perfect for an episode. Do I agree with how they broke some of them up? No, but that's fine. I'm not the one writing the show. Arcade Stumbling Bear really enjoyed Castle in the Air. We are having Parmesan crust tilapia with green beans and Caesar salad, waiting for the husband to wake up from his nap to help me cook. I have to go check and see if my dad is awake, because his bedroom is the kitchen. He's on, like, we have our kitchen, and then in the same room, like, there's an island separating, but we also have the family room, and there's a couch there, which is what we've kind of propped. Like, we stole the cushions from the other couch to make a high enough bed for him to get up and get out of easily right now, with his knee. So, but it does mean that, like, you have to have everything you need done in the kitchen done by 9 p.m. because he is an old man and crashes. Let's see. I'm thinking of getting 2 romances and 1 fantasy. I have decided one of the romances will be Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. Very nice. Oh, I would need to know more about what fantasy you're interested in, Beatrice. Brooke Crimmins says, I haven't read the other 2 books in this trilogy. Now I'm torn between continuing the Howl trilogy or the Last Unicorn series. I love them both. That's a hard choice. Don't make me choose. Hi, Tracy. I'm reading Tress of the Emerald Sea. Renee has some suggestions about romance. I am not sure which fantasy I should get. Maybe the second book in a series I'm already in the middle of. I support this decision.
Especially if you own the first book.
Especially if you own the first book. Especially if it's something that you're excited to get to. Because, like, I find that's the best way to figure out, like, if you're trying to get a new book that's part of a series. Like, don't get a series that, like, you haven't thought about in a while. Although that can be a hack if you get a new book and then you read it. But, like, anyways, you know what I'm talking about. I would get something that you're very excited to get to, and then maybe you'll get to it sooner. I just want it to be closer to June, since that's when the third one comes out, so we can smash all 3. Very nice. Yeah, I have the first 2, Black Sun and Fevered Star. I know people hate the Fevered Star cover, but I still feel like it fits the vibe of the series as a whole. I don't know. I'll have to read it. Beatrice, and I would love some romance recommendations.
Well, I guess it depends what kind you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I am all queer romance over here, so if you want any of those. I actually just did a video. It was trans for trans romances, which are T for T romances, so I've got those. I always would recommend The Charm Offensive. That's one of my favorite romances.
That's Alison Cochrane, right?
Yeah.
I have heard,
which I read for the Amazing Readathon.
Oh, nice.
It was a host pick, and it's now one of my favorite books. So
we love that. That's always fun when, like, you read something for a readathon and you're like, this is the best thing ever.
I had owned it for like over a couple years, and I was like, I had read her Sapphic Christmas one, Kiss Her Once for Me, and then I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm really gonna like this one as much. Now it's one of my favorite books.
That's so funny. I know. Yeah, that's always funny when, like, you're like, I have known about this book for years.
Yeah.
You mean I could have been having all of this joy for this long?
I'm like, why do I do this? It's because I said, I don't know why I'm like this, but I don't want to read the last book that an author has written unless they have more work, because I'm like, well, then I'm done. I don't have more. I don't have any more to read. I don't want that.
And what if I love them so much?
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's hilarious.
I know. I just have to get over it. I don't know why.
That was me with The Stolen Heir, partly because I was like, well, it's part of a series and the second book isn't coming out until next year. And partly because I was like, but what if it's not as good as The Cruel Prince and I hate it?
Yeah. You have to
Wait.
make these important decisions.
Yes. Anyways, Jen is recommending Nothing to See Here as an audio book. I felt like it flew by.
I want to read that one because Kayla recommended it.
Yeah. Renee recommends Invisibility by Andrea Kramer and David Levithan. We can do the Howl books whenever, except this month I'm booked. I am trying to do them all in this one weekend, Coda. So just a heads up on that.
How many pages is that?
Howl is 300. I think the other two are just over, like 300 pages. So I might get this all done in this weekend. I might not. They're like 8, 9, 10-hour audiobooks.
Well, do the audience really have to know that in the video? They don't know what day it is. They don't know what time it is. You can just
who's
say,
gonna know?
Yeah.
Who's gonna know?
Just say, oh, I did definitely finish them.
I
by
definitely
Sunday.
Haven't, for the sake of the narrative, definitely haven't said, oh yeah, it's the next day, and here's how I did on this readathon, even though I finished the book like 4 days later. You don't need to know I read the last 20% on Thursday instead
What are
of
you,
Sunday.
the book police?
Who's gonna catch me? And it's also because like I like if I start a book in a vlog, I like finishing it so I can give my final thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And especially if it's like a weekend readathon, I may not be able to do that. Let's see. A lot of okay. I don't think they know how many episodes season 2 will have or how long they'll be. I hope that they go back, they stay at like the 30 or 45 minute mark because that's what they need. But yeah, I do not know because I don't think they know yet. I think they just sat down in the writer's room the other day. So how long? I will be doing this until probably about 6 or 7ish. I know Cassidy has sprints starting at like 7:30 for Realmathon, so I'll probably point y'all in that direction latest. But Bone Spindle by Leslie Vedder is Romantasy YA, and The Boyfriend Project by Farah Roshan, adult romance.
I've never even heard of it. Maybe I have heard of it. I feel like
I might have heard about it potentially. Having reread Sea of Monsters recently, there are so many moments from this book in particular that I found myself saying, I really hope they don't cut that. I really hope they keep this in, etc. I do too. There were also a couple of moments that I was like, oh, they're going to have to rethink, like specifically Annabeth moments where I was like, we are going to have to rethink the difference that this scene would have or this situation would have with a white blonde girl versus a black girl. Like you're going to have to really rethink some of the things in that because I was like, this has totally different implications. Especially the scene where like Cersei meets Annabeth and immediately starts talking about how her hair is terrible, and I'm like, we gonna need to adjust that one.
Yeah, we don't need to leave that in.
we don't need to. I mean, there are ways you could do it. Specifically in the kind of like the idea of, oh, you haven't been able to take care of your hair in a while.
Yeah.
Because they are literally like, but it's one of those things I was like, they're going to have to be very careful about how they thread this needle.
Mm-hmm.
Pride and Prejudice and the City by Rachel Lippincott. I really like the Rose Harbor series by Debbie McComber. It's about a woman who opens up a bed and breakfast and ends up helping people that come to her bed and breakfast with their life issues.
Huh.
Oh, I started reading The Charm of Hisseth today. I read 230 pages in one sitting.
It's so good. It is so
nice. Good. Ooh, I need to read this when I have this somewhere. Role Playing by Kathy Yardley is really good.
Oh, I've been wanting to read that.
I think I got that as an early Kindle thing because I have Kindle Unlimited. The Duke Heist by Erica Ridley, historical heist romance. Oh, I have the first 2 and I agree with you about the cover, but the spine is bad. Oh no. I keep trying to come up with a romance suggestion, but do I feel qualified? Just talk about what you like. I agree, 45 minutes. Yep, very good. Oh, here are some options. 6 Crimson Carrains, The Poppy Wars, Belladonna, Darker Shade of Magic. You can live without Belladonna. Just strike that one off. I cannot tell you about Six Crimson Cranes, but I can tell you the Poppy War and A Darker Shade of Magic are both fantastic. Darker Shade of Magic is an all-time fave. So, heard good things about Belladonna, but haven't read it yet. I would have liked that book much better if it had been an adult romance because it wanted to be an adult romance. Just Alex has watched the video; he knows.
Yeah, I was just trying to think. I was like, wait, she read that for
I
Goodreads.
did. I read this for Goodreads and was like, you wanted to write a dark, sexy, mysterious gothic romance. You should have just written the dark, sexy, mysterious gothic romance instead of making it a YA. So,
I feel like publishing has to be so much better with their demographic stuff.
they're it's so frustrating how they're pushing like stuff into YA because they know it will sell better as YA because like 95% of people's problems whenever I hear someone criticize Belladonna and Foxglove, because the initial concept is very interesting and the way she writes is all right.
Mm-hmm.
But 95% of the criticisms that people have for it, probably more like 60%. I'm like, these would not be issues for people if, again, this was an adult romance.
Right. Like, that to me screams that, like, the editor is at fault because, like, they should have picked up on that and been like, hey, no. Because, like, I saw.
Character is 19. That is not
God.
young adult. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like,
the murder mystery is really interesting. And it's more. I think that element is done even better in book 2. It's just again we've got this like the main character is 20 coming into book 2. But taking it down, my goal is maybe 6. Yeah, I would say, hey, Carissa's back! Yay! We're about to go into another sprint. I think we're doing an hour this time, so I have time to cook food and eat the food.
That'll be my last sprint because
okay,
I have hockey on at 7. So and they lost last night, so I need a redemption.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Adults have fun too. 19 is new adult, not young adult. Yeah, it's like I feel like new adult would work really well as like a subgenre of adult because I don't think it needs to be its own.
I don't know why they don't do that because I feel like it would
sell.
So
I understand the publishing kind of idea behind it's just like it's all just adult because like we have so much adult that starts like it involves kids or it has a 16-year-old protagonist. But yeah, no, if you're writing a YA and your main character starts as a 19-year-old, you're not writing a YA book.
Right, and like would a 15, 16-year-old that's picking up the book be able to relate to that story?
Yeah. And it's also like that's specifically talking about fantasy. There are YA experiences that a 19-year-old can have.
Yeah.
Especially if you're talking about contemporary with school. So that makes sense. But there are no YA themes in this. But it is like the murder mystery was interesting. So, oh yeah, I was able to talk to my sister. What is your channel name? Alex is Pucks and Paperbacks, I believe, all one word.
Yes, Pucks and Paperbacks, all one word.
So let me pull up the timer real quick. And we will be going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Sorry about that. I didn't hear it go off.
Okay.
My bad, guys. I'm glad I came to check because I was like, the timer has not gone off in a while. I should check this. All right. How did we all do?
I am 55% in, which is great because I was at 36%.
Oh, very nice. I made it to chapter 5. Yeah, there we go. That's where I am. Let's see. I made it to page 69. Page 69.
Nice.
Yeah? Oh, I need to leave the door open. Okay. So I actually think that was the last one because I've got bad So, let me see. How did everyone else do? Let's see. Oh, we've got a Matt Carl. Hi, Matt. How are you? I'm reading Lost Boy by Christina Henry. Very interesting. Anne finished Second Chance, gave it 3 stars, updated my reading journal, and started The Alchemy of Murder by Carol McCleary. Interesting. Got 10 pages left, so going to carry on reading. Do it. Keep going. Keep going. And Book Hermit got to page 55 of Throne of Glass. Brianna watched Heather's new video and read 2 chapters of Powerless.
Sweet.
Nice. And then Jen just got back from eating dinner. Very nice. Oh, hold on. I need to respond to this. Anyways. All right. Let's see. What else did we get? Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we got some people coming in. Renee says I finished 80 pages in Charming by Jade Linwood. Very nice. Very nice. Dinner was made. Hopefully video is done exporting. I had to stop staring at it. I understand that.
Sometimes you just walk away and you're like, whatever.
Yeah. I'll usually go and like pull up like, you know, the black screen videos on YouTube. I'll just put one of those up, especially if I'm doing it overnight. So it's not like casting a lot of light in the other room. Because every time I do that, my parents are like, did you know you left your computer on all night? And I was like, yeah, because it was exporting a video. Or uploading is the one I have a problem with most.
I did that with the Goodreads video. I literally just like let it and I went to sleep. I was like, I'll deal with it in the morning.
Yep, I understand. I've done that. I did that with, I think maybe my most recent video, which is a short one, which is why it was so annoying that it took so long. Let's see. What was it? Was it that or was it the vlog? I think it might have been the Soul Eater vlog that I did. Speaking of... Speaking of vlogs and channels and things, Brianna reminded me that I need to do something, which is put you in the
description.
Okay, hopefully that'll give me what I want.
Yes, if you like queer books, I'm your guy.
There you are. Okay, there we go. Yes, and you are now linked below in the video description.
Awesome.
So there is that. Make everything easier for everyone. Nicole says, I'm dealing with family stuff. We had death in the family. I fell asleep a bit and read Distance by Luna Mason a bit. I'm sorry to hear that, Nikki.
Yeah, that's not good.
But, you know, it's good that you got rest and got a little bit of reading done.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what you need. What is... Oh, sorry. I've got Zoo Tycoon running on the other computer right now.
Oh my god.
And I've got there are like 75 notifications going off, and I'm like, what's going on? Why is this happening? So, okay. So my mom had to take a nap because she's been sick. My dad's been sick. I'm the only one that's not sick right now.
Knock on wood.
I've been wearing a mask everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. Hello.
Yeah, we supposedly it's not COVID because they tested.
That's good.
Although I know the tests aren't really great with the most recent variants. So, anyways, she basically like either one of the medicines she took for her headache or like the Vicks that she put on to like just cause this massive reaction.
Oh my
She took a
god.
Benadryl, which means she's going to be out for a while. So that means that I'm the one that's in charge of making sure my dad doesn't fall and break his head.
Oh my god.
So, anyway, so that's gonna be it for us tonight. I know we usually go for like the full 3 hours, but I'm not able to do that obviously right now. Is there anything you want to plug on your channel real quick, Alex?
I don't really have anything. I'm just trying to finish this vlog. I actually got a new camera, which was great. So
Okay, nice. I have the if you guys haven't seen it, Weekend Board Marathon is back. You can go and check that out. It will be it's like 2 weekends from now. It's like the third weekend of March, the 15th through the 17th, and we're just going to be focusing on our reading goals for this time around. And then I have my video going up tomorrow that is my vlog for 72 hours in the Reading Nook. So if you guys want to check that out, it will be up tomorrow. I'm about to go. I just took stuff for the thumbnail. I'm going to go put the thumbnail up and all of that good stuff. And yeah, that is it for now. More sprints Tuesday next week and Saturday next week. So I will see y'all. Thank you guys for joining us, and
bye.
I will see you later. We'll talk about more wordy, nerdy things.